Okay, this part two. I kind of forgot to delete space or delete files. Whoops. So it kind of stopped in the middle. Anyways, I deleted it. I keep forgetting it goes to recently deleted. So it doesn't really delete. So I have to delete it again for permanent deletion. Anyways, um, I forgot what I was talking about. What I was talking about. How I can just do simple things and why caring about wanting to express myself is important so that I'm not just stuck saying cool because that's not enough for me. So I want to learn how to say cool, but to be more specific. Why is it cool? Why is the thing that I think is cool? Why was that Roblox game so fun when I was younger? Like just saying it's cool is not enough for me. Like I want to document it, archive it, and I want to talk about it. I want to study it. Why was it cool? Why was it cool? Why, what? So that's why I read books and, you know, um, more than just, psychology, on children, like more than that. Like that's not like that's too, what's the word? That sounds like the direct way to do that, to understand how I saw it when I was younger. But it's a very subjective thing. So I think it's less so learning studying child psychology, and more so studying in general and just learning as much as I can, as wildly as I can, widely as I can, so I can make sure that like I can express myself in the most accessible way while still being specific. If I talk like a child psychologist all the time, then it won't really help me in the long run. If my goal is to express myself to all kinds of different people. I care about expressing myself. That's why I care about learning many different instruments, because it's exactly what I believe as in my goal is to be the kind of person that will learn multiple instruments and not just say I already have one instrument, I'm done. No, I want to learn how to express myself in different ways. It's more than just the instrument itself. For me, the journey is important. It's like it's proving to myself that I have the motivation and the willpower and I have the time and the resources in order to achieve my goals, in order to abide by what I believe, which is to keep learning as widely as I can, like many different, a variety, diverse, a variety of things that I wouldn't have really considered, and learn them. It gives me confidence. Like even if I didn't, like even if I act like once I finally learned the instrument and then the skill just disappeared all of a sudden, the journey was still very valuable. It's evidence, like I don't have to be like even if I'm not going to the gym now, I know that my past experience with the gym affected me and influenced what I feel and how I am right now. And I can't remove that. It just is. It's like going through, well, it's like going through trauma and knowing that like you can't pretend that it didn't happen. Forgetting is important and it's very great. Without forgetting, I would go insane and I would not be here probably. Forgetting allowed me to move on and focus and improve myself rather than just getting stuck. But definitely, sooner or later, that sooner or later that desire is gonna come and it's gonna be frustration, to want to confront the past and to confront everything, and to be honest with myself and to gather evidence and to confront that evidence, right? Same with learning how to, learning instruments. Like for me, learning, abiding by that philosophy, that goal, or whatever, that goal of learning, of continuous learning. So that is evidence. That is gathering that evidence. That is confronting my goal, confronting what I believe in and saying, do you believe it? Are you really capable? And so I test myself, and as time passes, even if it's frustrating, I keep going, and as time passes, I get more confident, and it's more stable, and I can do it more regularly without getting so uncomfortable. And that's what happened with singing. That's what I'm guitar, and that's what happened. That's happening that's what's happening with guitar. I'm improving slowly, and I'm getting more confident, and I can trust myself, and I don't feel like I'm going crazy. Because you feel like you're going crazy when you're learning something, and you don't know what the hell is going on. And you just want to keep believing, because you're hoping that this will help, like give you some evidence, first-hand evidence, that I'm not just pretending. I'm not just pretending that there's hope. I'm not just pretending, you know. Because like even if I fail, I want to, like, my goal really is to prove to myself something, right? If I succeed, then great. If I don't succeed, then I tried. Closure. I got closure. So I care about being able to look at everything that I think is awesome and just be able to just make sense of it, to really understand it, to really get to know it, while also being okay and stable. Like, cause like really, the more that I improve myself, the more that I can see so many different things. And because of that, there's the tendency to kind of feel this dread, right? But it's like, it's learning how to just take care of myself, and hopefully keep getting improve myself until hopefully I can become more confident over time, and be able to just deal with that feeling of dread, you know, deal with that feeling of dread that comes with learning, that feeling of dread that comes with learning, and learning that there's so much more, even after what I've learned. There's so much more, and I probably learned that there's so much more than I thought there ever was. Like, maybe I only thought there was like all I had to do was this, and then no, there was a lot more after that. There was a lot more, and like there was a much more. Now I know there's so much more that I don't know. That can make me feel dread, right? So the simple things, doing the same thing again and again, learning it, seeing it from a different perspective as I grow up, and really trying to express myself by learning how to, by studying and learning words, music, art. I can look at the simple things, and I can learn how to express myself, and that is kind of like my way of appreciating it, and feel like what I felt when I looked at that thing and I thought it was cool is valid. That's what I mean. Like, I wasn't just lying to myself when I thought this was an awesome, cool thing. And I'm not just basing it on other people. Like, I'm not playing Minecraft and I'm like, oh shit, I have to look through the internet before um I can trust myself that this is a real thing. No, more than that. I want to look at it from how I've experienced it myself, and say, how can I how can I really tell myself straight? How can I validate what I experience? Not something that a lot of, not this general word, oh, we all play Minecraft. No. How did I experience it? What did I do? And thinking about that, reflecting on that, what did it make me feel, and what did it make me, how did it affect my life? Learning that is very important to me, and really trying to express what I felt when I saw that feeling, when I was playing Minecraft, and I just thought it was the coolest thing. And I don't want to just say it's the coolest thing. I want to express it. and study the game and really understand it. And that sounds really weird, but it's not. It's more. It's less so studying the game. It's more so studying everything in relation to that game, and then study the game itself. Right. That's why I read as much as I can, because I don't like Minecraft by itself. Just doesn't really make sense by itself, but Minecraft in relation to everything else makes it easier for people to understand. Like that's why using metaphors, and comparing things, like comparing like a dog to a car, when we're if a dog is somehow like acts like a no, wait, comparing a horse to a car or something like that, if we're talking about like vehicles in the sense of like using it to travel, that's a way to kind of like make it easier for people to understand. So I'm not just studying Minecraft, I'm studying everything else, and that allows me to make comparisons and connect things together, so that many people from all kinds of different places can understand what I'm trying and saying. And I'm not just like, okay, let's use a bunch of Minecraft terms or League of Legends terms or Roblox terms and just you like within the culture and just use that kind of perspective. Like imagine if I'd learned everything else, I'll be able to look at Minecraft, Roblox, and everything in such a new way, a fresh perspective. Instead of using the same terms, I get to use new ways of expressing the same thing, thus providing me with like a whole new separated context. Like this is like I'm not in the culture anymore. I can experience it from a third person perspective, from an outsider objective perspective, and it allows me to appreciate it both subjectively more, when I can understand it from an objective perspective. But that sounds like I'm just studying and that's it. And I'm saying studying is cool. I mean, that's like that sound the word studying just isn't enough to express exactly what I mean. But more so, yeah, just learning in general, not just studying a bunch of books. Although I books are awesome, and I feel like learning is definitely going to hinge on that, the idea that books are how people really get a lot of thoughts across in a short amount of time without sacrificing clarity, if in terms of like like yeah, there's a lot that you can express with words. There's a lot that you can express with music. There's a lot that you can express. Like I honestly think that music is so awesome. I've heard a lot of songs that just express certain stuff that just don't really make sense, or it's like a picture is worth of a word a thousand words, is something like that. And sometimes words just don't feel sufficient. Blah blah blah. Like a math equation that you have to go through all the process just to get to the result. Sometimes there's certain stuff that you don't really need to spend too much time doing, and it just happens to make sense, right? Just certain songs that express exactly what I mean without necessarily needing me to word it out. That's why I love music, but that's also why I love writing, because for me, even if there are things that like words cannot say, like a picture is worth a thousand words, or it would still be great if I could word the entire picture. It would be great if I was able to express what I felt when I saw the picture and how I saw it, and so that I can also do that with my own life. How did I see this place? How did I see that place when I went there? How did I like? What were those people like to me? What were those people like to me? What were like all my experiences, all my subjective experiences? What it was like. If I can't express that, then it's gonna be difficult. Expressing it with music, expressing it with art, expressing it with writing. There's a lot. There is a lot, and yet I can just again I can look at one thing and I can just say, okay, let's do that right now. Just do it, and then reflect, and then see so many different memories coming back, and see all of them getting tied to the present, and then having this much more stronger, more confident understanding of the future, or I mean not the future of the present, moving forward. it feels very it's so nice to have a cohesive sense of self and to be able to just engage in small things without feeling like those small things are draining away your life, especially when you grow up. It's like you tend to kind of like avoid things that aren't productive, so it's like when you go back to doing casual simple fun activities that like just playing video games, it's like, it can be kind of like threatening. But more than just being productive, I want to be a human being. I want to be a human being more than just the term productive. A human being. So, which means learning the only way the way a human does, reflecting the way a human does, and putting things together the way a person would do, and really valuing my own experiences, not just the rational side of the world and reality and everything, but the subjective, because I feel like a lot of our conclusions like rely on those subjective experiences to really help bring forth that kind of confidence and direction and willpower, because that's the result, right? But the process, when you look back and really look at the details, it's more than just a bunch of confidence resulting and emerging from random or nothing. You can see all the different things that make up my life and why I feel that way. And that gives me so much power, validation. So yeah, looking at the simple stuff and not feeling like my identity is about to fall apart. And look at the complex stuff and the more productive stuff and feeling like I'm not turning to dust, right? It's not about like a mindset. I think it's just being able to find a way to just express myself in a way that makes sense to me. So I'm not just talk saying cool and then get frustrated because I can't really get things across. That's why I like to learn, because it allows me to make sense of things and not feel like I'm just making stuff up or I have to rely on other people to speak for me, because it's just not enough for me. Sooner or later, like I'm gonna want to have some sense that this makes sense more than just listening to people tell me what the hell is going on. I want to know that I'm doing this out of my own volition, and I'm not pretending. Like, I want to be able to do things even when no one's looking. So I need to have my own conviction, not somebody else says conviction being implanted into me, which means that directly communicating with myself and then communicating outward and listening to my words and feeling like those are mine, right? Look at my art and look at my music and feeling like those are mine. That's what I feel. Those are expressions of what I feel or what I experienced or whatever, this idea, like an abstract way to look at something. More than just abstract, right? More than just abstract. Again, reading wildly, makes it allows me to tie things together. So it's more than just abstract, because like abstract has a really, like that sounds like it doesn't sound effective, right? It doesn't sound effective. The idea of abstract. So more than just the term abstract, more than just that, more than just doing something simple. It's more low. It's more so just, yeah, doing something simple and remaining, like still feeling like I'm there. I'm not. I'm not suddenly gone. I'm not suddenly gone. I don't know. Like, this is the way I'm wording this. Sounds. It's very. Maybe it might be different or unique or whatever, maybe it's not unique whatsoever to people, and they've and the people like and you probably felt it or whatever. But yeah, I just thought I'd share that. Like I'm just encapsulating in the end. These are just condensing things. That's what talking helps me do. Condense things. Though these are kind of long. So yeah, informal.